This is 180 Conversations with tens of millions of LinkedIn invites, emails going out each and every single week. What are you doing to sound different? It's all about engaging your prospects. But to engage your prospects, you're going to have to think different and you're going to have to sound different. Let's go. Kiley, so this was an interesting one because your experience with this company was 6 months prior to mine, and we both got similar approaches via LinkedIn from this company. So this person reaches out to me on LinkedIn messaging, and they just say, "Hey, Dan, hope you're doing well. Any chance you're up for a quick networking call? It's always nice to see what my connections are up to in their business world." I understand the friendliness, but what I didn't understand is what is a networking call? And it was just so vague that it was just like, okay, why are you sending me this? I mean, I really don't know what a networking call is. Is there some kind of new terminology or new thing out there that I'm not aware of?
No, I don't think so.
I know you network a lot, so maybe I'm in the wrong here and this is something I should know.
No, if I'm extending an invitation for a networking type of conversation, I may give a couple reasons why we may have some overlap in what we do and what we could potentially discuss in a conversation.
Yeah. So this person's a sales professional for this company, and I don't know what a networking call is. So is he going to be asking me for introductions to my network? Number one, that's not going to happen because I don't know who he is. And I don't have any experience with this company. So it was just very vague. I didn't respond. But what was interesting was 4 days later on LinkedIn, I get the, "Hey, I wanted to circle back here. Thoughts on my previous message?" So I'm like, okay. So not only does he want to have a networking call, which I'm not going to network with him. I don't know him. I'm not going to put him in front of those people in my network. I'm not going to refer things to him. I have no experience with him. But now he's got this urgency around it that I'm just not clear on.
I'm also not a huge fan of any of the office speak, circling back, touching base, following up, reaching out. You get the idea.
So I reached out to him. I said, "I hope you are well. I'm a little confused here. What is exactly is a networking call and why the urgency on it? Happy holidays." He responds back, no urgency, but then proceeds to at least be honest about it. And he tells me it's a glitch in how they automate now their LinkedIn invites or their LinkedIn messaging. And this is when I asked you if you knew the individual.
Which I was familiar with because I got a very similar LinkedIn messaging glitch experience.
You did, because you actually sent it to me. It's not verbatim in terms of the wording, but thematically, theme-wise, it is verbatim. So here's the message to the audience, okay? Scaling outreach has some value, but I wouldn't scale outreach at the cost of the first impressions or even the second impressions that you give those you're outreaching to. In this instance, twice in a 6-month period, same approach with a glitch in the system or the platform that they automate with. I think you have to be very careful when you automate. It's that simple. I still go back to the same thing. If the person is worth talking to and you really want to have a conversation with them, then I think you need to invest the time customizing and tailoring your approach.
So if we were coaching this individual, Dan, how might you suggest he rework this approach on LinkedIn?
Well, if you wanted to have what he calls a networking call, I would define networking. I'd say, "Hey, interested in getting together. We've never met. Would you be open to a cup of coffee for a networking discussion? I'll tell you what I do." Just take a more honest approach. Be very transparent. He's here in the same city as us. I think I would go that route. I would make it very tailored. I might mention, "Hey, I listened to one of your podcasts. I thought it was very interesting on this topic." That's going to grab my attention. Read an article, something. and then kind of relate back what the key takeaway was, you're going to grab my attention. I might be willing to at least interact more. I mean, we're doing that right now. We've come up with the top 50 individuals that we want to see if we can have a conversation with over the next 12 months. Completely customizing it for all 50. Researching, do they blog? Do they post on LinkedIn? Do they have content on YouTube? And we're using that to try to connect with people, show an interest what they do, what they have to say, what's important to them.
If you're ready to get uncomfortable and level up to high performer status, find out how you can change the conversation by sending us your sales outreach via email or voice recording at podcast@lapin180.com. We're going to anonymously share these with our listeners and offer feedback for you.